Hello, hello, hello. So I'm just waiting 1 minute more before we start up properly. Hi, Madupsi. Hi, girl. You deserve an award though for first person to join the live session. I hope you can hear me though. Please, if you can, let me know you can hear me. She's laughing. Wow. How's your day been, Modupe? Please let me know. Hey, girl. Hey, Bossman is here. Okay, expensive. Bossman, please send me a request. I think I missed that option when I waved at you. Bossman, if you can hear me, please send me a request. Is he dropped off? Hi, okay, expensive. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm not sure. Bossman, are you on the call? If you are, please send me a request. I don't know if I double sent the request.
Hey Toby, how are you?
I'm fine. So, guys, this is the only person that is allowed to call me chubby, or nobody else. It's so good to see
Whoa,
your face, boss man.
give me a minute to switch power supply. They just took power from
Oh,
me.
okay, okay,
Right, so I'm
okay,
gonna go out and come back in.
okay. All right, all right. Okay, guys, Empire Diary. Thank you for joining the call. Okay, okay, okay. Expensive said I got it right. Yay, I did. Thank you guys for joining the call. So Coach Emeka will be back in a few. So while we're waiting for him, I just wanted to know, how's your day been? Please let me know in the comment section how your day has been. Let's just have a conversation. Well, there's no lights. I feel like I'm sweating a little bit, but I mean it's okay. How's the day been? If you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section how your day has been today. See, everywhere is good. I like that response. That's a positive response right there. Everywhere is good. Everywhere is soft. That is good. My day has been good too. Thankful, very, very grateful that, we're here again and we made it for the live session. So I'm pretty thankful for that. So yeah, while we're waiting for Coach Emeka, right, I wanted to say that the book is available. The short book that I wrote, The Third Bank, is available already, and you can get it on Seller. Okay, Coach is back. think I accepted it. Not sure. Okay. Hi, boss
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, sorry, I had to switch power supply. I'm here now.
Oh no, it's fine. That's okay.
How
Okay.
are you doing?
Awesome. How's your day
I'm good. It's been very good. Tiring, but very good.
going?
You can hear me
Okay.
clearly, Sha.
All right. Yes, I can. Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
I can hear you, but it
Well,
keeps breaking. I can hear you clearly now. Can you hear me now?
yes, I can hear you. It broke for a
All
minute.
right.
Okay, so I think that the
Good.
network is breaking. Okay. All right. So, guys, welcome to tonight's conversation. Me and my thoughts. So I'm just going to share a little bit on how I came about that. Can you hear me, Coach? I feel like, are you straining to hear?
I can hear you now. I can hear you better now.
Okay. All right. So I was saying, I was welcoming, everyone to the call.
All right.
Okay. And also to talk about why we're having this conversation. So I think that um, I think I realized recently, yeah, sometime June, July or so, that thoughts actually play like they're very pivotal in our journey in life. And I also
Yeah.
realized that, when I struggled with depression, I realized that it was my thoughts, the fact that I was just, I call it living on the negative street, so I was just in that place and I found out that it was just, I couldn't stop thinking, or should I say, I couldn't not think about negative things. It was just like it was automatic, possibly programmed. I'm not sure. Maybe you will shed more light on that as we go on.
Mm.
But I realized that it was everything was almost negative. And then I realized also that the results that I was getting in my life was also very, very negative. And it was
Mm.
almost like things would happen. And then I'll be like, oh, yeah, I was expecting that to happen anyways, because I mean, I thought about it, I envisioned that. I'm not sure this is really going to happen. And then it not happening. And I'm like, I'm not surprised. I thought it. So I feel like I just finally got to that place where I realized, okay, my thoughts are doing something. It's creating, yeah, they brought light. It's creating, something like, I know how to say that. It just, okay, let me just stop there because
It's okay. I get that. I get
that
that. I
was
can imagine.
automatic.
Yeah,
That
he
was
was.
automatic.
He was, right?
So I realized that my life results was just pretty negative. There was nothing new. I couldn't help it.
Mm.
So when I realized that, I think I was reading, now I had read the book, The Battlefield of the Mind before, but I suddenly
Mm.
bumped into it again.
Okay.
And so in the course of reading it, I remember that I wrote down something saying that if I can win in my mind, then I can win in life. I actually like wrote that down. And all of a sudden that was where I got the idea to write the book, The Thought Bank,
Mm.
just to share some insights into the thought life, that a lot of, if we can pay attention to our thought life, I know we talk about goals, we talk about beliefs, we talk about affirmations, meditation, but I don't think that there are a lot of people who are talking about thoughts. And I know that that's also one of the things that we did in CBT. Though I've not finished the course. I've not finished,
You better
but I know
finish.
that I will. I will.
All
I
right.
will finish it. So I realized that I wanted to, do this. First, I created the short book just to talk about thoughts and awareness into our thought life, and also how we can win, that we actually can win in our thought life. And if we can win in our thought life, then we can win in life, basically. So that's why I wanted us to have this conversation, because I know that, aside from the the psychology aspects, you also have like depth with, the spiritual aspect also. So I know that having you on, you'd be able to just like merge, you know, and
Yeah.
just create like a balance. So yeah, so first off, before we go in proper, coach, I think you should introduce yourself.
Oh, but you don't want to introduce me, Ni. I thought you were the one bringing me here. You should have done the introduction. All right, no props. My name is Ezio Chukwemeka. All right.
aka boss man.
um, I'm a life coach, a psychologist, and a psychotherapist. I currently head the academy and coaching services at the Olushola Lanre Coaching Services, Coaching Academy. And I have a passion for seeing people be their best, do their best. Right. I think that should be about everything, right? That's yeah. And I'm hoping to have fun on this discussion tonight.
I'm sure already I'm having fun though.
Uh-huh.
So guys, so now let me do my own personal introduction.
All right.
I call him boss man. I don't even know how I got that name, but I think I just started calling him boss man one day. So Coach Emeka is my friend, is my brother, and is also my boss at work.
Can say that.
So that's that's the bad part. So I'm really excited, Coach, to have you on this call because I know that we're breaking quite a number of. Somebody just said you're welcome, Boozman.
Can you imagine that? Maybe you have to tell them how to spell it because this one is Boozman.
Please, it's
No
Bossman,
problem.
please. Thank you, okay, expensive.
Thank you, Bella.
So, thank you, okay, expensive. Actually, that's what I call him, so it's okay. It's okay to call him that too. So yeah, coach, let's just get right into the conversation. Let's start off with what are thoughts?
Wow, I'm thinking about that. How to define thoughts. Whoa, that's interesting. All right, because if you the best way to define them is to look at them from how what they cause, right? I don't have
Mm,
a, a functional textbook definition of thoughts. I have a functional one. Your thoughts are I think it's the real engine room of your life.
mm,
It's what allows your life unfold. Um, so if you go back to the best way to understand this, if you go back to the very beginning, right, to start to begin to grasp it, when a child is born, right, um,
mm,
the psychologists will say the child comes out with a blank slate, a blank mind, because he
mm,
has to learn. He has to learn
mm,
how to think because it is in his thoughts that his life is processed. It is in his thoughts that his
mm,
life is unveiled and revealed. So he has to learn that from what he's seeing from around us. So it's almost like,
mm,
although thoughts is a programmed thing, it's part of our wiring, all right? But the
mm,
specifics
mm,
of that, we learn it. I'll give
mm,
you an example. So it's how we appreciate life. It's how we engage life. Without thoughts, we will be, but we will not be here. I'll say that again. Without
mm,
thoughts, we will be, all right, but we will not be here.
mm,
It was one of the psychologists who I think it was John Locke. I can't remember one of them who said, "I think, therefore I am." If you did GLS, yeah, I think, therefore I am. Although there is a, it's almost saying that the fact that I think is a proof of my being.
mm,
If we flip over to a deeper way of thinking, there is a fallacy in that arrangement. Because the real
mm,
truth is I am, therefore I
mm.
think.
Think.
I am a being, so I am a being, right? But
Mm,
for me to
mm,
engage this dimension, I need thoughts. I cannot
mm,
find expression on this plane without thoughts. And the quality of my thoughts, at every time, the quality determines the quality of my life.
mm,
The
mm,
quality of my thoughts determines the quality of my life. So, if I were to now try and define thoughts from this whole plenty explanation, I will say that your thought is the smallest unit of your life here. The smallest unit.
mm. Wow.
You live every thought at a time. It's how your life unfolds. It's how you embrace
Mm,
life and express it. If you're not thinking, it will be very difficult for you to stay on this dimension. In fact,
mm.
it is impossible for you to stay on this dimension, because this is a thought dimension. It's in this dimension we engage in thoughts, we relate with thoughts, we live via thoughts.
Wow. 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 I think the part I think I'm still at that part where you mentioned that thoughts like the smallest unit, of
Yeah.
your life, and the unique thoughts, almost like every day. That's like getting my head. I'm still digesting that part. I'm still digesting that part.
Mm.
Wow. Okay. So I mean we've covered that, right? So I wanted us to the core of this conversation, having you on here, I wanted you to speak to something, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. But before then, I wanted you to talk about how thoughts affect our lives currently,
Really,
how thoughts.
here, like I said earlier, your life unfolds inside thoughts. Your thoughts are really your life. Um, so how I think about a thing is how the thing is to me. How I think about a thing might not be how the thing is in its entirety.
Mm,
So my thoughts
mm,
create a relativity with that object, right? My
mm,
thoughts
mm,
create a relativity. So I relate with the object based on how I think about it. And if I cannot have an expression or experience of that object beyond my thought about the object. So everything I cannot
mm.
think about that object will be hidden from me. I'm just trying
Wow.
to use this as an illustration. So
Yeah.
the light, there's light in front of me now. How I think about that light is how I'm going to experience the light. But that's not all that this light is. In its
Mm,
isness, it is beyond my thoughts. So my thought abstracts this object and allows me relate with it. Can you see? Can
mm.
you just try and grab that? All right. So that
Yeah.
if I see this light as dangerous, if my
Mm,
thought perceive of it as dangerous, I will always relate with it as danger.
mm,
If someone else will
mm,
see and say, oh, light is beautiful, and the person
mm,
will relate with light as a thing of beauty. But the
mm.
isness of the light is there. My thought just allows me abstract it and make a relationship with it. So you can now understand how that your life at every time, every moment is determined by your thoughts. In fact,
Mm.
your life is caused by your thoughts. I'll say that your life is caused by your thoughts. When I say cause, I mean
Right.
causation. I mean, this is how your
God.
life is happening because of how you're thinking. So to
Mm,
say that your thoughts impact your life it doesn't do justice. Your thoughts cause your
mm,
life. Your thoughts causes your life. The causation for what's happening in your life is your thoughts. Because if you're going to look at thoughts, then we're going to go into mind domain. I'm thinking about a
mm,
thing, right? I'm
mm.
thinking about a thing. That how I think about a thing is how the thing is to me. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah. Yeah.
if you want to flip it in scripture, scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. How I think about a thing is how that thing is to me. But is that what that thing is in its entirety or in reality? Oftentimes, maybe no.
Mm,
So
mm,
it's so important that when you see some things that working in your life, most times we fight
mm,
things, right? We go ahead and,
mm.
and fight things and struggle with stuff. No, it's your thoughts. So
Mm.
if you can change your thoughts, the stuff you're fighting with is, what's the word now? It's there. Can you understand that that
Mm.
thing is neutral? Light is
Yeah.
neutral. Light is waiting
Yeah.
for you to interpret it from how you like, how you think. All right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
it is there. So how when I think of light in a particular way, I abstract that experience to my life.
Mm.
Money is there. If I think of money in a
Mm.
particular way, it determines how I relate with money.
Money.
Relationships is there. If I think of relationships in a particular way, it will determine how I relate with relationships. Work is
Mm.
there. If I think of work in a particular way, it forms how I relate with work. So these things are neutral. They are there. Our thought creates the abstraction that allows us relate with those things and make them our reality. So if something is
Mm.
wrong with your life, it is not the neutral that is the issue. It is your thoughts about that concept. Your
Mm.
thoughts about that thing is creating a reality for you. Because really and truly, you can choose to think differently about anything. If there's anything your life has proven to you, your life, everybody's life has proven to you, is that you can choose to think differently about anything. And the moment your thinking about that thing changes, your relationship with that thing changes, your experience from that thing
Exactly.
changes, and then reality just alters. So your thoughts don't just impact your life, they actually
They
create it.
cause your life.
They cause it. They are the biggest causal factor of your life, is your thoughts.
I love it. Wow, coach,
Mm.
that is so profound. That is like that is explaining it on like the barest minimum,
Mm.
because I'm just thinking about a lot of things. So I remember that um I think it was also recently, right? So I was just in a place, I was just thinking, I can't remember what it was that I was thinking about. And
Okay.
then all of a sudden I just, heard a word that says that sometimes all you need about a situation is a change in perspective. And I feel like just listening to you speak about it, I'm just like, you have just covered it. Because really, the way that, I think it was first with you that I heard this statement, that all there is, all that you have experienced about life. Okay, so correct me if I get the old thing wrong. All there is, all you have experienced is not all that there is, right? I think I got that right. Okay, so
Yeah, that's right.
so I think that you also keyed that into this explanation that you made about how thoughts really cause our lives. So I wanted us to also, from what you've said, dive a little bit into people and past experiences, then translating to give meaning to a particular thing. So for instance, okay, so let me just use this example. So I've experienced disappointment, right, in the area of, say, certain people, and then I'm in a new season in my life, and a new collection of people get to come in that season because of unconsciously, because of the past experience that I've had with people, right, and the
Yeah.
disappointment that I've experienced with
Yeah.
these people. I get to begin to unconsciously again react. I would just use the word react. It's not really react, but I relate with them,
Yeah.
thinking that, maybe these people, they're going to do something similar to, or maybe a situation happens with this new person, and all of a sudden I'm thinking to that experience, and I'm like, I think they're about to do the same thing, they're about to disappoint me. So
Mm.
I wanted you to speak on that, on how, I'm trying to frame the question in a lighter form, but I know that you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So
I get
I
you. I
think
get
just
you
speak
very well.
to people's thoughts, and then coming from that place of past experiences, and then maybe trauma, and how we interpret what we're thinking into reality, and then we begin to experience those things. So I think that should do.
All right, so I get you. Now, remember when I was talking about thoughts, I said when a child is born, psychologists believe that the child, although the child comes with the capacity to think, he has to learn what the contents of his thoughts are going to be, and he learns that from his environment. Now, when a child begins to think, there are a few things that begin to form in the child. The key word for that thing, you said it, is perception and perspectives. Perception, how I perceive reality. It's a function of my thoughts. Yeah, but perception itself, the content of that thought is informed by a few things, right? The first is your prior experience. You talked about it. Your prior experience,
Yeah.
your prior learning, that's prior knowledge. So experience is different from knowledge. Experience is and knowledge is I
Yeah.
know this thing to be like this, whether because they told me, somebody said it, or I read it. Experience is I
Somewhere.
have my
Yeah.
engagement with this thing created this reality or this outcome. Prior experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your perception is informed by your prior knowledge, your prior experience, your values, your beliefs, and your persona. I think these five things: your prior knowledge, your prior experience,
Correct.
your values, your belief,
Your
your persona. We
and
call
your
it
person.
personality, right? But if we're talking coaching term, we're talking about your representational system, how you've learned to interpret and encode reality. Now, these five things will determine how you will think about a new event. Now, that's what the child is doing. As the child is going, things are happening. And when those things happen, for example, he hears his mother say something. After his mother says that thing, the outcome is that the father does one thing. The child is learning. From the ages of 0 to 9, a child is a sponge, like legit sponge. She's not thinking,
Soaks
he's
up.
not thinking. He's just taking everything in. Just
Okay.
whoa, whoa, whoa. That's how life rolls. Oh, this is how life works. Oh, that's how you think. So the child is not processing. He's just sponging up, just absorbing. And the child's brain waves around alpha or theta waves. It's between meditative and semi-meditative states from the ages of 0 to 7. So the child is not in the core thinking stage. He's in a relaxed, resting phase. And all he does at that point is mop up. So in that formative years, the child begins to learn what works in his environment. What works. And then he begins to create behavioral responses that allows for adaptation. Okay, so let me not, this is how I survive my environment. These are the kind of behavior you behave to survive your environment. If I tell lies like this, I will escape. He's beginning to learn that if I go with this boy to that place and do this thing, this is the outcome I get, and I want this outcome. He's beginning to code that. His perception is beginning to be shaped not by his biology, not by his nature really, but by his nurture, by his experiences, by his environment, by the people who live in his own small microcosm of the world. Now, this is it. So when this child had created these behavioral responses over 7, 8 years, all right, every time a new behavior, a new event happens, he only has the filter of his perception to respond to that event. He doesn't have any other thing. So if in his past people had betrayed him, right? People had abused him. He was free with certain people and they used him. He takes that experience and abstracts it for everything with people. So this guy will develop a tendency not to be trusting people, a tendency to close up. That tendency is built from experience. He's choosing one response to every event. He doesn't know how to deal with an event in the moment. He's not learned that. His programming does not allow him to do that. See, this thing now creates all the, so a girl who's been raped, and I hate to use that, but I think it's the best. I mean, because I've had to deal with quite a number of these ones. A girl who's been raped by boys between the ages of 5, 6, and the rape was not the kind of rape that leads you into, because there's a variety of ways a girl processes rape, especially if it's repeated. If it's very painful and it's repeatedly painful, such that, and I will say this again, the pleasure of sex does not come in all of that space. The programming for the girl is almost 100% different. You're almost developing, she will most likely develop into somebody who pathologically hates men, or whichever gender rapes her. right? Because
Mm,
she has
mm,
associated that behavior with pain. Now, get this. Now, this girl is 15 or 16 or 17 or 22 now. And then a guy touches her randomly. Say,
mm.
some dude in class or some dude in school just touches her randomly. She flips. And the guy is wondering, oh, easy girl, I, I just touched you. The truth is, when he touched her, she did not respond from today. She
She
responded
responded.
from every other boy
Same.
who touched her like that and raped her.
Mm,
So
mm.
she has of course, every girl that is at least grown up enough knows when the touch is um,
Sexual.
innocent and when it's sexual. All right. But this one, she has learned because of that repeated experience. Remember, her perception is formed by her prior experience, her prior knowledge, her values, her beliefs, her persona. Now, her prior
Mm,
experience and that has formed the person. So when this boy touches her right now, all right, her perception of that touch is not based on what the boy's intention are in the moment.
mm.
It's based on what she
Space.
had experienced before. So she's responding to the guy, and the guy is saying, "Chills, girl. I just wanted to tell you that your
Not
bottle has fallen down." And then she angrily goes and picks the bottle, and she's still angrily going. She tells him thank you, and she's still angry because what that boy did by touching her in a way someone had touched her before and raped her was to
Rita.
trigger the response that came from them and the
That
persona that was
place.
created around that rape. I mean, that's an extreme. I mean, and it happens. I mean, I've had to sit in a class
Yeah.
with one. It happens like it happens consistently. It happens repeatedly. We have a way of what's the word? Responding from the past. And in our
Mm,
mind, we're not responding from the past. In our mind, we're responding to the issue in front of us. But the truth is that
right
the
or
whole body of information that we used to arrive at that response was based on our prior experience, our prior knowledge, the values that came, the beliefs that came,
mm,
and the person we
mm,
became from that place.
mm,
Uh, it's hard so that what we are
mm,
thinking about something in the moment. For example, if all the men I have dealt with in my life, all the men, and some people are like that. It's funny that some folks don't know how I don't want to call it how favored they are, right? To have a life without certain kind of people, right? If
mm,
all the men that have been in my life had wanted to use me at one time or the other, normally I will use that information to form how I relate with other men. Why? Because I'm trying to survive. The human brain, this brain that we carry, where our thoughts happen, the human brain did not evolve to help you thrive. Mm-mm. The
mm,
human brain evolved to help you survive. And they're
mm,
two different things. If I'm going to thrive, I have to be able to
mm,
read things as they happen now. If I need to
mm,
survive, now, let me explain this to you so you grasp it. If I need to survive, it means that there is danger. So for
mm.
me to survive, I will be scanning my environment for danger,
Wow.
not for opportunities to thrive, but for opportunities
Mm,
to survive the danger that is coming. So I'll be interpreting intents and actions from the place of danger. I need to survive that. I need to avoid that. I need to evade this. I need to break out of that. That guy is going to get at me. That girl is just going to. So I'm constantly locked in survival mode. I will not thrive.
mm.
I might even be favored and still be surviving. Because
True.
the human brain did not evolve basically to help you thrive. It evolved, it's very primitive. It evolved to help you survive. For example, let me say so maybe 300, 400 years ago, my fathers or our fathers did not have to, okay, let's go 500, did not have to deal with Danfo or Molwe or Bolt or Agbero. You know, they didn't have to deal with that. They had to deal with lion, tiger, leopard. So the brain then was saying, guy, if you hear,
Japa.
I can hear you. If you hear this sound, is a lion coming. If you hear that sound, it's a
Japa.
leopard coming. This is how you respond to it. This is how you run. That's the same brain we carry now. The jungle just changed. So instead of lion, you have human being that behave like lion once in a while. You have bosses, you have, and the brain is telling you, look, survive this, survive that. It's not helping you look for opportunities to thrive. It's helping you look for opportunities to survive. How you go? It's good. Yeah. So if you get that, all right, and the information for survival, really and truly, the information for survival is everything that has happened to you in the past, cataloged, stored. So you're not dealing with life in the moment. You're dealing with life from the past. You're not living today.
Hi.
You just carried one yesterday and it's echoing over and over again. Echoing. You're choosing today's responses from yesterday's experience. You're choosing today's life from yesterday's life. So really, you're not living in this moment. You're living in the past. Your thoughts is messing up your life. I don't know if I've tried.
Boss man, can we drop my I'm like, okay. I'm like, what did we start? That, I mean, I'm reading the comments and I'm just like, oh my, this is so profound. This is. I'm just taking a deep breath and think of the next thing I'm about to ask you before we get into, you know. Joe James says, powerful prof. Coach Ugo says, Chief Prof, drop the mic.
There's no mic. I will drop my phone.
Wow, Coach, thank you. That was just so profound. Like the part that I'm still is the part about how we're living from the past and re-echoing it in the present. So it's almost like
you know the dangerous thing, and this is shocking. This is shocking. I just thought to bring this in. So it's almost like you're having the same experiences over and over again.
Yeah.
With different people and different scenarios. But it can't be now. Really, no, it can't be.
They're different people.
So it's your thoughts that is making this. So this experience was not supposed to be like that. This person was not supposed to engage me in that particular way. Certain things happened. I saw triggers and I reversed fast to the past. And because that was how I knew that reality was, I used my thoughts to recreate it again. Have you ever wondered how people who are always say in the office, they say, look, I don't like people. I don't like relating people. Those people, people don't like relating them.
True.
So
True.
you know why? Because that I don't like letting people creates an energy, creates an aura. So that the people that are coming towards them will just see it and hate them for no reason. Like, I don't like this person. They don't know why. You just your thoughts, just that simple thought had created for you an aura that you walk in. So a new scenario has come, a new thing is happening to you, but your thought just goes back and you know what? The only thing I know about this thing was what happened to me yesterday. So I took that. So your thought allows you take that yesterday thing, superimposes it on today, and then it's the same experience again. Men are scam, the same guy again. Girls are demonic. It's the same. You just keep. Life is hard. Hard. This country is hard. Yeah. It's
like a dump.
I tried that. It didn't work. Yeah. So you're superimposing yesterday's experiences on today's experiences, and then you're wondering why your reality is not changing. Your thought is making it.
Guys, I'm like, as you're saying this, I'm checking my own luggage to be sure. I'm checking my luggage, my thought luggage to be sure that okay, let's check here. Where are we living from? Oh wow, Coach, that is so profound. That is so profound. So okay, so wow, that is just like that's a lot, and I'm sure that everyone that is listening in, you'll have some time to maybe listen again so that you can really unpack what is being said, because I don't think that you can just get it in one go, because sometimes you have to listen to things over and over to really get the core of the message, and so that you can begin to apply what it is that you need to do. So Coach, I also wanted us to talk about something about how thoughts and beliefs, that linkage, Whenever I think about thoughts and beliefs, like so strong, my mind, like let's just get in that place and unbox that luggage.
Yeah, yeah, true. Every belief is a thought. Is a thought
Mm,
that's been repeated over and over again until it becomes perceived as truth.
mm.
I'll figure again. Every belief is a thought. All
Every
right.
belief. Thought. Sorry, coach. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Phone holder. All right. All right.
Okay.
So I was saying that every belief, right, is a thought. A thought that has been repeated over and over again until it becomes perceived as truth.
Mm,
So that the moment it becomes perceived as truth, your life will align with it. In fact,
mm,
when scripture says that as a man thinketh in his heart, that's what it's actually saying. So he is. When you've driven a thought to the point where it's now truth, it is now believed. It now becomes a thought in your heart. As a man thinketh in his heart. When you drive a thought, repeat it over and over until it becomes perceived as truth. It becomes a thought in your heart. As a man thinketh in his heart. Because the real truth is, you don't think with your heart, you think with your mind.
my dear,
With
that's
your
true.
heart, with your heart, you believe.
Mm,
With your heart, you believe. With your mouth, you confess.
mm,
You get? So,
mm.
but
Yeah.
when the Bible now says that as a man thinks in his heart, he is saying that that thought had been repeated over and over and over until it became a belief in the heart. So,
Mm,
once the thought has become a belief, your life would align with it as truth.
mm,
And because beliefs
mm.
are really truths that you carry for yourself.
Truth.
So, and that's it. And the system that allows a thought becomes a belief or is repetition. So
Mm,
and sometimes it's so funny that these repetitions are like events happen
mm.
again. Yeah, yeah, this is
Over.
how. So just it's just a repeating event that creates a consistent thought that creates a belief about I've tried this thing before. It's just my nature.
Mm,
I can't go past it. Don't worry.
mm,
So the person is arriving at that belief because
mm,
a repetition has happened. And that's how strongholds are formed in the heart. I would say
mm,
this so you grasp it. Grasp this one very well. There is no event in this life, all right? No
mm,
single event, right, that is
mm,
concrete. Everything is relative. I'll say that
mm,
again.
mm,
Everything is relative. You are the one relating with the thing.
mm,
So that you will understand when most psychologists tell you that reality is subjective. So you get
mm,
it that it is your reality is created by you. As a matter of fact,
mm,
your reality is created by your belief. Two people are going through
mm,
the same thing. One person is dying, the other person is smiling. Hey, guy, two of us they go through this thing. Why you they smile? The guy who's smiling will say, "You don't understand. This this
mm,
this shit can't stop me. I've seen the other side. I'm going to go through this. That's why I'm smiling at this nasty thing that thinks it can stop me. Oh God, I'm developing muscles. I'm learning stuff. I'm getting temperance. I'm understanding to wait and be patient. You know why? I have seen the other side. I've seen myself in the place where I beat this up. So, Bone, I'm just here for a while. The other guy that is dying, this year have killed me. He killed my father. You see the people in my environment, he kill them too. So me, I'm dying. But the thing, right? That event is just neutral. Has got no effect. The power of every event is in how you relate with it via your thoughts. How can I say this so you grasp it?
Pause. I'm writing this down. The power of every event is how
It's in
you.
how you relate with it via your thoughts. Because events all by themselves are neutral. And I might sound insensitive when I say this, but it's an infallible truth. Even some very terrible events, the one that you see, this thing is painful, it's neutral. If you remove yourself from that event, you will know that this thing is happening, I'm still here. So wait, so if I was not here to happen, and I'm here, it's still happening. It means that the thing is happening irrespective of me. So the question I will now ask myself is, okay, in spite of this thing that is happening, what do I want? What most people do is they live because of what is happening. They say, why are you like this? Well, because that happened. So not in spite. So when you ask them what the direction of their life is headed, why is he heading in that way? There is a causation. And they say it's because of this event, because I don't have money, because my friends left me, or because my boyfriend jilted me, or because I didn't get the answer to that prayer. You know how sometimes that's even when I pray to God, God didn't answer the prayer. That's why I chose this way of life. See, the event is neutral. Because for everything that is breaking you, there is what the Bible calls a cloud of witnesses. I like that. You know what a cloud of witnesses are? They are the dudes who will show up and say, you say what? You're crying about that? I faced this. And I came out.
So what's your story?
What's your gist? That's your cloud of witnesses. You know, it's almost like you say, I enter fire for the Lord and fire burned me. Then those three hypocrite guys just show up. You say what? We danced in the flames and nothing hit us. You are your cloud of witness. For every single thing, every single event you have in this life as an excuse of where you are at, there is an entire cloud of witnesses that are saying, no, we went through us. So the event has been before you came. The event is going to be after you're gone. The event can never be your excuse. Your thoughts created a relationship with that event. That relationship created your reality. If you want your reality to change, you've got to change how you're thinking about the events. Because the moment the thought about the event changes, your reality with that event just alters once. Imagine that you had, because of your experience with maybe Ghanaians. So Ghanaians, sorry, I didn't mean this insultively. So Ghanaians are silly. They are nasty people. That's all your experience because of the Ghanaians you've experienced in your life. And then one day you now meet a different Ghanaian. Like, oh, this guy is nice.
And he's a Ghanaian, no?
And he's a Ghanaian still, though. He cancels every crazy experience you've had with every other Ghanaian. So what's the constant there? I'm always going to react. I'm always going to meet Ghanaians. But how I enjoy that meeting or relationship will be determined by the thoughts I bring into that space. How my thoughts allow this event play out in my mind. The moment my thought changes, my reality will just follow suit. So we're talking about beliefs. When a repeated thought goes in your mind over and over again, sometimes you even hate the thoughts. So you don't like it. But the thought has gotten the privilege of repetition. Right? The moment a thought becomes over and again in your mind, it's going to create your reality because that thought has become a belief. Those are the strongholds. Those are the strongholds you need to pull down. The thoughts that have become beliefs. because they have the privilege of repetition. Their repetition had created a validity for them, it validated them, and they now become the tool by which your reality consistently evolves. If you want to change your beliefs, you've got to change the thoughts that are creating them. And to change those thoughts, you need new sets of information about that reality. So the first new set of information you ought to carry is that you are the one causing your life. Can you just carry that? Because that's powerful. That look, see, it's not village people.
It's you that is doing yourself.
And most people, what they do is that they say, this one is motivational speaking. So I will just change my thoughts. My life will just change. The thoughts that you have been thinking for 15 years, that's become a belief. You want to change it in 1 second so that your life will change. No, you need to go through the same process that drummed the first thoughts into your mind and created the belief. All right? That same process, you need to go through it to install a new thought and then run it over and over again. Because what you are doing when you are installing a new thought that is countering an old belief is that the old belief will continue to want to reassert itself. So what are you saying? No, this is how we are. We are not fine. We are ugly. People don't like us. What are you saying? Stop that. So it's you who has to now use the vehicle of repetition, which perhaps the easiest way to assess that vehicle is via affirmations. To drum it over and again. Put it now. So look at it. The old thoughts that became a belief that is ruining your life happened unconsciously. Right? It was just happening with all the events that were happening, and then before you knew it, even you didn't even know until you began to kind of audit your thoughts and say, look, I think like this consistently. Okay, that's why these things are happening to me. Now they happened unconsciously. Now you can use your conscious mind to plant a new thought and consciously drive that thought until it becomes a belief. So this time is conscious. And when you do that, you shorten the circle. So if it took you 15 years to arrive at a negative, limiting, empowering belief that is messing your life up, it will take you maybe 3 weeks, 3 months, 1 year. I mean, 1 year compared to 15 years is what now? So, but
that's much better.
Exactly. This repetition allows you to engage reality differently. And the moment your reality is beginning to change at that level, what you see, what you experience, what enters your hand changes. So yeah, thoughts and beliefs. Thoughts create beliefs. Repeated thoughts create beliefs. And once beliefs are seated, boom, your reality continues to unfold. It's just that simple. The moment a belief is seated, in fact, the real resource. So when I said that thought is the smallest unit of your life, yeah, I was going below belief. Because it is the thought you have believed that plays out in your life. So when we talk about creation, we say the first level of creating anything, right? It's not even just imagination, it's first belief. It's not even a level, it's a currency for creation. If thou wouldest believe, all things are possible to him that believes. It is the currency of creation. And at the very heart of every belief is a thought that was repeated over and over again. So when the good book says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate upon it day and night. And because it's after you've meditated upon it that you will now observe to do all that is written therein. He said, then he will make your ways prosperous. And the last part is the shocking part. He said you will have good success. It begins first by repeating something over and over and over again until it takes seat. So when we drill down from reality to belief, we settle our thoughts. So again, I would summarize by saying your thoughts are creating your life. You are the one causing it. It's not the devil. Okay.
Wow, coach, that was so good. That was so good. So good. So good. So good. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I wanted us to, I mean, you touched a little bit on it, but I was going to go there. That was going to be my first question before the last question, right? So I'm gonna also ask for the link. Can you hear me?
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm here now. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Is that white?
Yeah,
Hello.
she's not coming.
Okay.
Move.
Okay. So
Please,
I was
repeat
gonna
the
also,
question.
yes, I was going to ask another question. I mean, you touched a little bit on it before you completed what you were saying just now. But that was going to be my next question, actually. The link between your thoughts and your actions
Mm. Oh, all right. The link between thoughts and action. You actually
and
cannot do
action.
what you have not thought. You see, so yeah, you can't do it now. You can't do what you have not thought. Behavior is at the
True.
end of the spectrum. You can't do what you have not thought. So even when you are doing what you don't want to do, it is what you don't want to do that you are thinking. So you can't
Mm,
do what you have not thought. It's impossible. There is a loop, right? The loop, the loop starts with thoughts. Oftentimes we
mm,
begin it with events, but it starts with thoughts. It's after you
your
have thought,
thoughts.
you will feel. After you feel, you will decide. After you decide, you will act. So you cannot do anything, right?
Without first thinking about it.
Yeah, it's practically impossible. So the connection between your thoughts and your action is straightforward. So if you're doing
Mm,
certain things that you don't want to do, you don't like to do, you will always know. It's funny. Before you do any bad thing, you'll have thought
mm,
about it. Sure, you know. Before you
mm,
all those people that do about bad things, before you do any bad thing, uh, you'll have thought about it. So reverse the same process. Before you do any good thing, you will still think about it. All right. And remember again, it is the intensity of thoughts. The intensity. So if I flood my mind with a particular thought, right,
mm,
the corresponding action to that thought becomes inevitable. You know
mm.
what I'm saying? It becomes, in
Yeah.
fact, once I flood my mind with a particular thought, I am engaging my will, the seat of my will. So
Mm,
if I continue thinking about something, if I think about it to a point, all of my resistance to doing it will die away just because the thought had been on my mind for a long time.
mm,
Not that
mm.
I'm thinking about it once in 2 weeks or once in a day and I flick. If I
Wow.
hold a thought for a long time, I hold it in my mind for a long time. What happens is that I engage my will. Every resistance to doing that thing falls out as I am engaging thoughts. It continues to
Mm,
fall out. It continues to fall out. And at some point, I'll find myself doing it without resistance because I have stayed in the thought place for a long time. Let me use an
mm,
illustration to drive this, so that you grasp it very well, and this might just be how you ice it. Okay,
mm,
start thinking about food. Just start and flood your mind with food. Just flood your mind with food. One of the first things that you begin to happen to you is that you start salivating. So understand this. A biological system had been kicked into effect because I
mm.
started thinking.
Okay.
My
Mm,
psychology is starting my biology.
mm,
Just because I hold a thought in my mind about food, my mouth is beginning to water. If I hold the thought for a long time, my stomach will begin to rumble like I am hungry. But I know that it's just ojukuku sweet mouth that is dreaming. But my biology is beginning to tell me we need food, we need food, we need food, we need food. Before long, I am eating the food without thinking.
mm.
So I have engaged thoughts to a point that thought has empowered will.
Mm.
And action follows almost automatically.
Mm.
The connection between your behavior and your thought is straight line, but it is impacted by the intensity of the thought. What most people do is they want to change their life by thinking about some things once in a while. What I
Mm.
think about, now this is it, what I think about determines what is of utmost importance to me. My thought life determines my importance. If I go back to that flooding thought again, just you walk, there's a particular street, right? For example, say if you live in a very densely populated area where these boys who sell CD and put speaker where they live, those DJ guys, DJ people, and they are testing their speaker in the entire area, and they play their choice of music, and they play a particular song every day, like without fail, every day, and you hear that song every day, you'll be shocked that one of those days you are inside your house all by yourself doing nothing, and the song starts by itself, it's playing in your head. You don't want it. You don't understand. You don't want it. Someone had by the sheer force of repetition seared it into your mind, so that it bypasses your resistance to it. Now, this is some dude planting that thing in your mind subconsciously. I'm saying if you want to engage behavior, if I want to read books, all right, I don't leave them on my shelf. I move them from my shelf and put them on my table. I'm constantly saying the book, I will lead you, and I will read the book. Because I'm constantly saying it. My mind is charged with the vision of the book. Consistently, it is assaulting my mind. I'm sitting outside of my balcony. My mind is replaying the picture of the book on my table, saying, "Guy, you better go pick that book and read right now." So before long, the resistance to reading the book is overcome by the sheer force of my consistent thoughts. You get it? So that's how your thoughts creates your behavior. Not just flippantly thinking about. So if I want to do something, I ought to spend a little time first bombarding my mind with the image of that thing, thinking about it. Because if it has entered my mind, it will enter my life. You don't understand? I'm trying to reduce my resistance. I'm trying to reduce my resistance with other things that are trying to engage from my mental bandwidth. The other things that are calling my attraction, the plenty other discouragements, right? The plenty other distractions that I have, right? The things that are calling for my thoughts. I'm trying to discourage myself, distract myself from them by focusing on this. So if you want to do anything, create a situation where it's impossible for you not to forget it. So bombard yourself with the image of that thing. That is the whole idea of affirmation. That's why you have a vision board. That's why you put words around you and stuff around you. You're priming yourself to do. You're bombarding your mind with thoughts that align to the particular behavior you want to bet. If I were you, I'll do this one at a time. I'm not doing a lot. I'm not trying to do 5 or 6 or 7 or 13 or 15. One thing that has plagued me for a long time that I've not been able to do, I bombard my mind with the thought of that thing such that I block everything else out. And I consistently, I put around myself totems, reminders that bombards my mind with it. What I am doing is that I am reducing the resistance I have to do that thing. What I would find later is that I just do it. And sometimes I will have finished doing it before I know that, I have do it already. I have do it.
Yeah, I'm doing
it done.
Automatically you become a doer. So I wanted to add this. It might sound like a joke, but if you have struggles with, doing things, if you have struggles with acting on things that you said you're going to act on, this is very, very good. You just take the advice that coach just gave. Now, bombard, assault your mind, just consistently put it in your face. This thing you said is very, very true. I always wondered why, you don't have certain songs on your phone. But then you find out that when you maybe get to a setting and then that song is playing, you sing the song and people are like, so you tell me the song, you said they listen to this kind of song, and you're like, I don't even have the song on my phone, but it's just that your mind has been exposed to it over time, consistently, repetitively. So coach, that was just so profound, profound, profound. Thank you so much. And I'm
In
already
fact,
taking a little bit of
so,
time.
so, so,
Okay,
so let me drop this one in because it aligns with what you're saying. One of the easiest
okay.
way to bombard yourself with thoughts about a thing is to go to where people are doing that thing naturally. So whether it's
Hmm.
an association, a group, just see where they do it naturally. Just enter there. You will catch their bandwidth. It is their nature,
Hmm.
but it's
Energy.
what you want to acquire. When you enter it, there's no way. So maybe you want to join them, do it and leave. It's okay. All right. But it is simplest way actually to increase that is to enter a place where it's this people's nature to do that thing. You want to learn to read, join a
Hmm.
book club. See, join a book club, go to, you want to learn to speak, go and join speakers forum. You just figure that, look, the passion comes because of association. You are entering into an association that is bombarded normally with that thought that you want to translate into an action in your life. I just thought to add that.
Wow, that is so profound, coach. So I'm just going to use this as a sidebar, right? So now in my head I'm thinking billions. So I have to go and look for billionaires club to be a
Thank you.
billionaires club.
There is no way you say you are in billionaires club. You can't be poor now. You can't be broke. You have just not. You will be thinking in the dimension of billions, and this is not. You see, Dangote's what's it called, network is not. They are not in a jungle.
Mm,
You understand? Right. And
okay.
it's not insult. It's just they are not. It's not. They don't live in the same world. But the moment you move into that
Mm,
circle, right, the first thing you do is you begin to tap. See, it is the ideas they are thinking about that you are starting to think about. It is the language they are speaking, you are hearing. So, there is you begin to hear the language, the currency, the culture of that association. And it's like moving from one world to another world. It alters you.
true.
Yeah. I mean, it
Very
alters
true.
you.
Very true.
If all of your friends are
Coach.
like you, is okay, go ahead. I know. You
You
say I
know,
know, coach.
this thing you just said, right? So I just finally realized something that I think recently I started to also, I think by association with you, coach. If you notice, I'm already picking up some things, the eye movement, the hand
Mm,
movement, by
interesting.
association.
Interesting. All
So
right.
that was just a joke, by the way, but I think it's true because now I'm having conversations with people and I'm like, okay, and then sometimes I have to literally like catch myself like, okay, I think I just acted like coach just now. I just acted like you. So that is so profound also, your association. I think Jojen just captures it. She said associate in areas you desire to manifest. Woo! Yep,
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
think that's
You
that's
capture.
spot on.
That's
That's
just
spot on.
that is just the best way to do that. That is just the best way to put that. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. So coach, one last thing, right? I know you already hit on one thing, on affirmation, but I think the whole essence of this again, is to help people to win in their thought life. And I know that you've shared, from debunking, you've debunked a lot of things actually and some myths, in the process of all of this, but let's zone in now on things that we have to do, because one of the things that I also spoke about in the thought bank, which was one of the things that I zoned on, and you also mentioned, is that your thoughts are your responsibility. It is 100% your responsibility, so coming from someone that has been in a very, very dark place thought wise, right? I realized that you just have to do the work. No one is going to do the work for you. I'm not going to come and do it. Prof is not going to come and do it. You're just going to have to decide that, okay, you know what? It's either again choosing between 15 years of absolute waste and turmoil and pain, or just months or weeks or 1 year of having like 360-degree turnaround in your life. So I mean the choice is yours. So I just wanted to put that. So coach, just give us like actionable things that we can begin to practice. I mean, just like you said, one thing after the other, but just share, and then we can decide. You pick which one you want to work with, maybe 3 weeks, 1 month, consistently stay there and just keep building up on it. So yeah, coach, over to you.
So I'll do this quickly because, like Mira rightly said, it's your responsibility. Now, but what you're thinking about will first be determined by what you want. All right, what you really want. See, not what everybody else is carrying around, though. Not what your friend has that you want, or what your boyfriend has that you want, or what your girlfriend has that you want, or what your neighbor has that you want. No, what do you really want? Now, it took me a while in life to just really realize that, look, no, peace is priceless. Peace is crazy. I want peace. All right. I want to be able to afford
Yeah.
peace. Like when I say peace is priceless, you understand? But I still want to be able to afford it. Right? Then I now ask myself, how do I get it? So the question of taking responsibility for your thoughts begins with you first deciding, what do I want?
What do I really want?
What do I really want? In my time here, I've figured that most people know what they don't want.
But true.
Yeah. But if you ask them what they do want, they will stutter and stammer, and then they will tell you what their friend has that they want. Because they never really sat down with themselves. So you know what, this is what I want. And it's not because everybody has it or some people don't have it. So it's not because I want to lord it over people or show people that, yeah, you know what, it's what I
Just want
want.
it.
I just want it. Right. So that's the first question you need to answer in every area of your life, whether it's in your career or in your academics or in your relationship or in your marriage or in your health and wellness, whatever it is. Ask yourself, okay, in this matter now, what do I want? The moment you zone in on that, then we call it back from the future thinking. What kind of thoughts will take me here? When you isolate that, then how do I make these thoughts easy for me to think? How do I make it easy for me to think these thoughts? Do I have to join an association? Do I have to create affirmations for it? What do I need to do? Right? And if you understand that you are not in a race with anybody, you really learn to take your time. So you learn to take your time to master one thing and move to the next, and master one thing and move to the next, and master one thing and move. If you understand that you're not in a race with anybody, you're not rushing to buy the car that you bought, you're not rushing to live in the house that you lived in, you're not trying to marry their husband or their wife, snatch their boyfriend or snatch their girlfriend, you're trying to get your own thing. Right? If you understand this, you will really learn to take time and master one thing and then move to the next, and master one thing and move to the next. What you discover is that sometimes when you master one thing, it takes care of something that would have happened in the future. Some stuff you would have learned, some stuff. So by just taking the time to master one thing, you're saving your time on other things in the future. But look for that one thing, that one now. You see, declutter, narrow it down. Sometimes the reason why you're feeling overwhelmed in your mind is because you're trying to get too many things done at once. So your mind is, yeah, that one, yeah, this one, yeah, that one, yeah, this one. It's just everywhere. One thing. Every other thing might feel like they're falling in pieces. Yeah, but one thing. If it's just a skill you want to master, focus on that one skill. One thing first. Just one thing. Well, if you're young, you're blessed. If you're 25 and below, you're blessed. If you're 25 and above, you're still blessed. You just need to understand that you're not competing with anybody, right? You've got to come down and live your life at the level of thoughts. The quality of your thoughts would always determine the quality of your life. If you've got gutter thoughts, you will live gutter life. If you've got clean thoughts, you will live clean lives. And above everything, find a way to make it easy for you to repeatedly think a thought. Hack it. Put things around you. And then your life would always... I think I'll end with this. It's the good news version of the Bible. And I think it's the same Proverbs 4:23 where they say, "The man thinks in his heart, so he is." But from the Good News version of the Bible, it says, "Be careful how you think. Your
Mm,
life will take the shape
content.
of your thoughts." No, that's why I say, "Be careful how you think. Your life takes the shape of your thoughts."
Yeah.
Your
Wow.
life takes the shape of your thoughts.
Yeah.
So if I look at you and I see your life, I'm actually seeing
I
your
can.
thoughts. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This time, this time you drop my.
Yeah, drop my.
You're finally, you're finally drop it. Oh,
I dropped
whoa,
my.
my goodness, coach. Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having
Thank you for
me.
your
Thank you for
time.
having
Thank
me.
you for.
Thank you for having
I already knew that this conversation was going to be very interesting and very insightful. Thank you, coach. Thank you so much for doing this. Because Jo Jane says that very true. She's guilty. I think she was talking about the overwhelming, thing where she's doing so many things, and I think that comes from this thing where we talk about what do we say? I'm trying to find the right word for it. Multitasking. I think it comes from that place where you just want to hands on everywhere, and that really creates a lot of internal chaos. I've been there, I still experience it sometimes, but one of the things that I realize is all of that creates internal chaos. Why not? Okay, what can I do? Priority list. What can I do right now? What is most important? What is it that if I don't do this thing, something will happen? Get on that first, and just get to do it first, and then you realize that every other thing really will just follow. So coach, thank you so much. God bless you for your time. Guys, also the third bank book is available if you'd like to. Dupe just dropped the link. If you also would like a copy, you can send me a DM to get your copy. Georgette says she'll start from today. Yes, yes, please.
yeah.
We are waiting for your testimony. So, coach, thank you again so much for your time. God bless you immensely. I think we'll do this again, over time, but definitely I'll let you know so that you can schedule something for us. Thank you, coach. God bless you. And my thank you to wifey for taking a bit of your time.
So
Let
yes,
her
yes,
know.
yes, yeah. I will tell her.
All
I will tell her. All right now. Thank you.
all right, coach. Have a good night rest. Thank you guys for joining the call. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.